This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so yesterday we looked at the customization for the write-off, and then we will see how to do write-off actually in the system. So our main transaction here is basically 080. So if you go to financial accounting new and then contract account receivable and payable, basic functions, and then postings and documents, document, assignments, define main transactions. So 08 write-off is 90, sorry, 90 is a write-off. And for 90, we have got the sub-transactions. So application area are the main transaction 0090, receivable write-off, credit write-off. That means there can be debit balance, which is to be written off, or there can be credit balance, which can be written off. So these main transactions, sub-transactions have been assigned to our company code. So maintain transactions for billing, and then already this assignment is done for the company code because we copied from the 0001. So our company code is 555, main transaction 0090. So 10 is the sub transaction, and then it is having internal sub transaction 10. It is a credit, and then 90 is debit. It is basically debit. So basically we are performing the write-off here. Write-off you can do for individual account, or you can also do for mass at a time. Now let us take one of the contract account CAA2. We'll find out contract account maintained for the business group, company code group 555. Let's say 5701. For 5701, we will see are there any open items. So FPL9, list type is standard list type or open items, and then contract account is 5701. So there is a amount which is basically 7,000 to be collected from the contract account. Let's enter some payment of 6,800. FPCD, company code 555, value date is 03/01/2020, reconciliation key currency INR, and the cash contract account is 5701, and then total amount what we have to pay is 7,000 plus 4,000 plus 3,000. Maybe it is having one statistical item. That's why it was not shown in the open item, but it is actually 7,400 to the two open items. So once again, let me check, or let it be here. So go to FPL9, FPL9, all open items. So we have these two open items. The other one could be kind of a statistical item. That's why it is not reflected in the open item, but it is available in the payment. So select the items. We are selecting the full, and this we are making, let's say 3,500. 3,500. That means you are paying totally 10,500 rupees. So customer is making a payment of 10,500 and then post. So there is a open balance of 500 rupees, which is yet to be paid. But for some reason, customer says 500 is, our open item is not correct. According to their statement, it is not 11,000, it is 10,500. So they are not willing to pay it. Okay. But in our books of account, it will continue to show the amount pending as if you select here account overview, open items, now it is showing, previously it was not showing. So it is showing 500 rupees and then 3000 rupees. Okay. So 500 rupees is actually bad debt. We can consider, we want to write it off. Okay. So this 500 rupees, we want to write it off. So to see the write off, we'll go to contract account, receivable and payable, and then go to the account and then go to write off items. This is for the individual account. But in the periodic processing for the contract accounts, here also you got a write-off run. This is a parallel processing, mass processing. At a time, you can enter n number of contract accounts, and for them, the write-off can happen. Okay. So right now you're doing for the individual account. So go to write-off items. So contract account is 5701. Posting date is today. Company code is 555. Currency INR. And then clearing reason is 04. And write-off reason will give it as basically insignificance, and reconciliation key will give it as KL01. Now here, do not use the write-off rules. Release items for submission to collection agency. Do not use the write-off rules, and then select here. So this 500 rupees, we want to write it off. So activate and then save it. So this 500 will be removed from the write-off. It is no more applicable. So exit editing. So if you go to FPL9 and then see the open item, so that 500 is removed. It is no more applicable. It is removed. Okay. So this is a write-off, what we have seen. Previously also, yesterday also we did one transaction, just to show once again, I've done it. Now moving forward, we will go to other business transactions. Go to financial accounting new, and then contract accounts receivable and payable, the business transactions. Let us go to the reversals and the basically the offset clearing. Okay, the offset clearing will come under basic functions. If you go to basic functions and then go to open item management, so here you can see define default values for reset clearing. Okay, reset clearing is one kind of business transaction, but it is kind of a open item management. But now at the moment we are looking at the business transaction, which is basically reversal. Okay, so go to reversal, define alternative accounts for the reversal in the following year, chart of account int. So this is not required actually. Define default values for reversal. Now reversal means, let us say I posted a FICA document, but then it is found to be that I entered a wrong FICA document posting. Okay, maybe I entered a wrong contract account or wrong amount. Okay, so I have to reverse it. Okay, so clearing reason is 05 reversal, and then define specifications for the clearing run. Okay, so you have to maintain a debit main transaction and debit sub transaction. Clearing reason, we are giving it as basically here define default value for reversal 05. Clearing reason is 05. So we have maintained for 01. 01 is basically 05 reversal, 02, 03. So actually not required. We don't have to maintain. But now we'll go to clearing strategy. If you go to basic functions and then go to the open item management and then go to clearing category and then clearing variant, define clearing types, define specifications for the clearing type, define defaults for the incoming payment. So here you maintain payment lot. So payment, we don't have to give any clearing type also here. So straight away we can do reversal. So for reversal, what will happen? A FICA document will be used. The document type is EST. Okay. So if you go to financial accounting new and then go to contract accounts receivable and payable, and then here you can see the document. If you go to basic functions, postings and documents, document, maintain document assignments, document types. So maintain document types and assign the number ranges. So here our document type is EST. Okay, EST is basically reversal document. Okay, the number range has been maintained as 05. If you're doing mass reversal, then you have to maintain number ranges starting with alphanumeric, that is R5. Okay, so reversals can happen two ways. I have posted a FICA document and then that document I want to reverse. Okay, so this is one of the reason. Or let us say generically I have prepared one invoice in ISU. Okay, so let us say we prepared one invoice in ISU and then that invoice what you posted is incorrect. Okay, that means invoice when you prepared and you saved it, it has already posted a FICA document. Okay, but now we want to reverse the invoice. Okay, if you reverse the invoice, what will happen? It will also post a reversal FICA document. It will post a reversal FICA document, but also it will reverse the billing document. In ISU, you prepare first a billing document and then you will be preparing a invoice. But because you are preparing a reversal process, what will happen? You will enter the reason for the reversal, maybe incorrect invoice or incorrect meter reading. So when you process the reverse invoice, it will prepare a reverse invoice document with the document type, and the posting document in FICA will be EST. So conventionally, if you are doing reversing from the generic business process, then we'll be doing it in ISU area. If you go to invoicing, execute invoicing, and then you can say individual processing, full reversal. Okay, when you're doing full reversal, you will enter the reversal date, reconciliation key, document type. This document type is nothing but the document type what we have in FICA. Okay, and then reason for the reversal will be maintaining, that is incorrect invoicing, incorrect meter reading. Okay, and then you will enter the invoice number, so that invoice will be reversed. This is coming from the generic business process, but you can also reverse a FICA document what you're posting into the miscellaneous posting. I mean, any document what you prepare can be reversed. I prepared a security deposit, I want to reverse. Okay, so let us create one new document, FPE1. I'm posting today's date. Document type is 70, and then reconciliation key, and then company code is 6000. We'll make it as 555. BP item is 50, and then open item. So our contract account is 5701. Main transaction is main transaction is 5001, 5000 sundry receivable, and the sub transaction is 5001, 3000 rupees, and then save it. So a document has been prepared as 10,278. That is the document number it has posted. The FICA document is 10,278. So now let me go to FPL9, FPL9, and then if you enter open items, you can see here 10,278 is there. Okay, you can select the environment and then go to document and then reverse. Okay, you can do it from here, but in the transaction is a reversal process. If you go to document, so here you can see FP08. Either you can use FP08 and then do the reversal, or you can also do with the FPL9. Okay, suppose if I select FP08, the document number is 10,278, and reconciliation key is KL01. Reversal date is today, that is 03/01/2020, and document type is EST, clearing reason 05, clearing business partner items, clearing reset. Okay, so here the business partner items are basically clearing, continue, and then continue, enter, additional actions. Then we will just save it. We can just save it. Document is posted under 40028. Okay. That means you have to just save the reversal process. A new document is created as 40028. So now if you go to FPL9, if you go to FPL9, open items, if you select here all the items, if you select here all items and then check it, our original figure document was 10,278. 10,278. Find it. So it is available. Now this 10,278 has been given the indication as reversed. Okay, it is reversed. Okay, and the reversal document, what is posted here is 40028. This is a reversal document 40028. Find it. It is available. This is the reversal document. It has done minus 3,000. Okay, so 10,278 was a debit posting for 3,000, and this is a credit posting. The contract account has been credited with 3,000, so it has been reversed. So if you select 40028, it has done the reverse posting. What it has done, it has used the contract account 5701 and the sub transaction 5001. It has used for the reversing. Initially it was used for debiting, now it is used for the reversing, and as a result the sub transaction account is debited, tax account is debited. In the regular process, when you post the FICA document, the price account is credited, tax account is credited. But when you reverse it, the posting will happen in the reverse way. Contract account is debited when you post a FICA document, the price account is credited, and the tax account is credited. But because we have reversed it, the reverse posting will happen. The contract account is credited, price account is debited, and the tax account is also debited. Okay. You can also do the reversal from the FPL9. Okay. So if you create FPE1, document today's date, reconciliation key, open item, main transaction, sub transaction, 2,000 rupees. And then save it. The document posted is 70221. Okay, 70221. And if you go to FPE2, if you go to FPE2, 7001, this document, you have to reverse it. Select environment, clearing analysis. So you cannot do reversal from here. So you can go to FPL9. You can go to FPL9, FPE2. Our document is 70221. So we can go to FPL9 and then select all the items and then select the particular document, that is 70221. This is the document you are debited. Select the document and then go to environment, document reverse. So it is coming to same transaction what you did earlier, that is basically FP08. Then you can use the reconciliation key, reversal date, and then save it. Then the reversal document is posted with 400,229. Okay. So reversal is a process where you can correct the mistake what we have done by posting a wrong contract account or wrong amount. Okay. So you can do the reversal. Now comes the offset clearing, offset the clearing. Okay. Offset the clearing. Offset the clearing means you had an open item and you have cleared it. Okay. You have cleared it. But after clearing, we found we cleared a wrong open document. That means we had 2,000 rupees and 3,000 rupees as an open item. I was supposed to clear 2,000. By mistake, I have cleared 3,000. Okay. So I want to reverse the clearing. That means it is basically offsetting the clearing. Okay. But in case of offset clearing, what happens? The document what you cleared will again reopen. Okay. That means when the document is cleared, that means it is no more open item. Okay. But because you are reversing the payment entry, what will happen? The document will become open again, and the payment what you entered earlier has been reversed. Okay. So the particular payment amount what you entered will now be posted as on account payment. Okay. That means it will show up as a credit amount. Okay. On account amount, on account payment will be posted. That means it is like a open credit item. You cleared the debit item, but you say the clearing was not correct, so we want to offset it. So the open item what you cleared will become again open, and the payment what you entered will become now open credit, so that you can use it for adjustment of the other open debit item. That is what we do with the offset clearing. Okay. So for offset clearing, we have to maintain the data. So we go to the basic functions. In that, we go to open item management, and then in open item management, we will see define default values for resetting clearing. Okay, select it here. The document type is 11 and clearing reason is 11. Okay, reset cleared items, and then define default for down payment. Define default value for resetting clearing. Select here. So debit empty, debit sub transaction. Now what is this 060? 060 is nothing but it's on account payment. Okay. That means it is going to make the posting into on account so that the amount becomes open item. Okay. So this is maintained. And then in the clearing control, nothing has to be done. Define default values for the incoming payments. Payment lot, payment card, nothing is required here. Post manually, payment lot, cash desk, not required. Okay. So basically here you have to maintain debit main transaction, credit main transaction. And this debit main transaction, credit main transaction 060 already available with our contract account. So if you go to postings and document, select the document, and then select the maintain transaction for ISU, and then maintain transactions for billing. Our company code is 555. So we can check here our company code is 555 and the main transaction is 0060. Okay. The 10 and 20. So basically 10 is basically payment on account credit and then payment on account debit. Okay. So these are the two assignments are available. And then let us see we have maintained the account determination EK01 and then company code 555, ID is 50 and 0060. Okay, we have already maintained GL account 1,45,801. On account payment we assigned long back because we did some scenario where on account payment was entered in the cash desk, and also when you used two methods of posting in the cash desk, partly the amount in cash, partly amount in check or credit card. Okay, we have used this particular configuration where initially payment is posted on account and then it is distributing into two clearing accounts, cash desk clearing account and check clearing account. Okay, so this is already available. Now let us see how to do the reset clearing. Okay, now let me go to FPL9 and then select open items, all open items. So we have got an open item which is basically 90027 and then amount is 3,000 rupees. Now select the document, double click, open item. We had posted with 5,000 main transaction, 5001 sub transaction. This is the open transaction which is available. We have posted on 4th of December. Now for this we are entering the payment entry. Okay, so go to EFPCD, cash desk payment, company code 555, valid. Let us add one more payment, one more open transaction, FPE1, and then today's date I'm posting, reconciliation key, and then open item, contract account 5701 5000 5001, amount is, let us say, 2000 rupees, and then save it. Now there will be two open items. If you go to EFPL9, so we have got one earlier open document 90027 for 3000, and the latest is 700 which is having 2000. Now let us go for the payment entry. Go to EFPCD, company code 555, reconciliation key, and contract account is 501, cash payment. Select the items. Now I have cleared, let us say, 2000 rupees here. Okay, but actually I was to clear 3000, but I have cleared 2000 rupees. I should have cleared partially this payment, but I have cleared this. So now come back, and 2000 is entered as a payment received, and then post. Payment is posted. And then if we go to FPE2, the document what is posted clearing document is 91044. Okay, 91044. So if you go to EFPL9 and then select all the items, so 70222, the document is 70222. This is the document which has been cleared. Okay, this document you have cleared, but actually I was to clear the document which was 90027. 90027 was 3000 rupees, and this document has been cleared with the document 910444. This is a clearing document. Okay, now I want to reverse the clearing. So go to particular document what has been cleared. That particular document is 70022. 70222. This is cleared. This is a document which has been cleared. Select the particular document, go to environment, document, reset the clearing. Select the reset clearing. So clearing document is 91044, reconciliation key KL01, posting date is this. Setting for the scope of the reset, not yet specified, whole clearing, parts clearing. So select the whole clearing and then select create a new open item. Okay, that means 91004 is our document, clearing document. We want to reset it. Okay, so whatever document we have cleared earlier, it has to be opened as a new item. Okay, so we have entered here whole clearing, create a new open item, and then selection clearing. Not possible to select with resetting. Retain distribution, clearing amount to classification amount, parts of clearing, create a new open item, selection clearing. So now here you can see 2000 rupees we have basically cleared actually. So we are selecting here parts of clearing, creates a new open item. Okay, selection clearing. Now status is not at reset not required, but now we are saying where reset is required, activate the item. Okay, that means this 2000 rupees what we have posted as a clearing amount, we want to basically reverse it, reset it. So now we will select it and then save it. Posting date must be not preceded. Posting date must not precede. You wish to reset cleared items, however, posting date precedes posting date document. You cannot reset the cleared items a date earlier than the document was posted. Posting date must not precede 0301. So you have to give it as posting date. Let us give today's date 0301 2019 or 23. So let me check once again. 91044. This is the clearing document. You are cleared on 0311. You want to environment document reset clearing reconciliation key posting date parts of clearing and then create a new open item selection clearing, select it, activate, and then save it. So date we should not enter because date posting date in system will automatically adjust. So document posted under the document number 10,279. Okay. Now this 2,000 rupees is available, but now the original document what we posted earlier, that is now it has created a new open item. So let us see what is the effect of 10,279. Now it will create this 2,000 rupees as on account payment. Okay. So if you go to down payment, if you go to receivable, it will show a credit balance of 2,000. So if I go to open items, if I select here the open items, the 2,000 rupees what you entered as a reset amount will show as an open credit. Okay. Now you can see it is showing the document, resetting document is 10,279. It is showing 2,000 minus. Okay. Then it is adding one new document that is 70222. It is keeping it open again. Actually, it is creating the same item as open again. 7022 was earlier reversed. Earlier it was cleared. Now it is showing it as 70022 is again a open document. And then this amount is showing as on credit, okay, on account payment. So 10,279, if you see the open item. So contract account 5701 has been sub transaction credit. It has credited the amount of 2,000 using the on account payment 0060 sub transaction 10. On account payment means it is like an open credit. So now we have to adjust it with the account maintenance. When you do the account maintenance, I can assign this 2,000 to 3,000. Partially I can do the clearing. Then go to account maintenance, go to go to contract accounts payable and payable, go to account maintenance. The contract account is 5701. Create a proposal. Okay, open items. So now it will say 2,000 is the open credit, but it is adjusting now 3,000. Okay, actually it is a order. It is order payment, and this is a new open item. So actually I should have cleared 0412. Okay, but I cleared 0301, which was incorrect. So now it is adjusting with the order item, which is 3,000, but it's a partial clearing. That means 2,000 you have cleared. So it will create balance amount as 1,000. So we will select these two and then save it. So now if you go to FPL9, it will show 2000 minus 3000 minus 1000, that is 2000. So there will be two open items of 2000. This is 2000, this is 1000, because this original due amount was 3000, but we have adjusted the open credit of 2000. So this is the debit balance. So reset clearing means we are resetting the open item which has been cleared, and then the item what you have cleared will become again open, and then the payment what you entered earlier, which was actually clearing the open item, has now become an on account payment. So when the on account payment is there, you can clear the on account payment in two ways. Either you can go for final payment, which will account for all the open debit and open the credit, or you can also go for the clearing, that is basically automatic clearing, or basically clearing control. What you're doing is manual clearing you're doing, that is basically the adjustment of the open debit item and open credit item. Suppose let us say you have made the payment now for 1000 and it is wrongly done. Okay, it will again open, and then instead of doing the automatic clearing, we can also do with the payment entry. Balance amount if you enter, it will remove all the open items. That's another method. So you can do that also to check it. So here at the moment we have got two open items, 70227, 70222, which is 2000 rupees, and then 90227. This is the older document which is for 1000 rupees. Okay. So now I will enter a payment of 1000 rupees, FPCD, and then company code is 555, account is 5701 0301, reconciliation key, select the items. Let's say I cleared this particular amount, okay, and then I am clearing with the partial clearing 1000. That 1000 should have been clearing this amount, okay. So now come back here, enter the amount 1000, and then post it. So now this 70222 will now become open for only 1000 rupees, and 90227 is cleared, not at cleared 1000 rupees. So let us say cancel it, come out. So what is the clearing document? If you go to FPE2, this is my clearing document, that is 91045. Okay. Now let me reset this particular clearing document. Go to FPL9 and then select all the items. Let us select all the items. And our particular document, clearing document is 91045. 91045. This was the document we cleared with 1000 rupees minus. Okay. Select the particular document and go to environment, document, and then reset clearing. Reconciliation key KL01, whole, create new open item, and then save it. Okay. So parts clearing and then save it. So select the particular status item and then activate and then save it. So I have reversed it. So now if you go to FPL9, it will show two debit entries and one open credit. Okay. So if I select here open items, it will show two debit entries. One is basically it is actually 70227 and 70227 and 90227. 90227 is one document, old document, and 70227, which was basically cleared, has kept as a new document which is opened. So it is saying open credit of minus 2000. So effectively 2000 rupees what you have to get from the customer. Okay. But now what I will do, I will actually, it was partially cleared. Okay. So 2000 was there, we partially cleared with 1000. So it is retaining the 1000. This is the open credit and this is the old balance what we have to get. Now either you can do account maintenance, or if you enter the payment for 2000, then it will also adjust the open credit. That means you don't have to do the account maintenance. If you go to FPCD and if you enter 2000 rupees, all the open items will be removed. Okay, so if just one second. Yes. Okay, sorry. Now I'll go to FPCD and then company code is 5550301, reconciliation key, contract account 501. Now I'm entering 2000 rupees payment and then select 2000 clearing and then I will say post online. Okay. So enter cashless clearing account. So let us remove this first. Actually, the moment you enter, we must have the cash clearing account enabled. So go to FPCD, company code 555, contract account 0301, and then reconciliation key, continue. Now it will determine the cash clearing account, and then we are giving 2000 payment to clear open items to the extent of 2000 rupees. Okay. Now post online. So actually what it is doing, it is taking into consideration of the open credit also. Okay. That means open credit is minus 3000, minus 1000. Then is a open debit of 3000 rupees. Earlier it was 2000 rupees, but you did the partial clearing. So it is having 1000, and this old balance of 1000 is available. So effectively you are supposed to get only 2000 rupees payment. So we can save it and then payment is posted. So now there is no open item. That means if you have any open credit, either you can adjust it during the account maintenance or you can clear it with the incoming payment. So if you go to FPL9, now there is no open item. This is a down payment. Okay, fine. This is an open credit. This is for the security deposit. That is okay. But there's no receivable as of now. Okay. All the receivables have been adjusted. Receivable is 0. Receivable. There are no open items for the receivable. Okay. But if you select all the items, then it will show receivable is 0. If you select here, the receivable is 0. There's nothing to be received. Okay. Only down payment account is there. That is because of the cash security deposit. That is open credit. If you reverse the cash security deposit, then amount will become open credit. Then you can pay to the consumer as an outgoing payment, or you can adjust it with the future move out process, or any open items are there, you can adjust. Okay. So this is how we do the reset clearing. So reset clearing is nothing but a process where whatever payment you entered by mistake and can be readjusted to other open items. Okay. So we have seen reversal, we have done the resetting. Now transfer of the open items. Okay. Suppose we have got a contract account 3000 and then there's a open item of 4000 rupees. Okay. Now they are transferring this open item to another account holder. That means that account holder will make the payment. Okay. Like say the customer is no more, so the amount cannot come from them. So the 4000 will say, I will make the payment. So you have to transfer the payment from 3000 to 4000. There can be many reasons why this can happen. So you can maintain the reason why you are transferring. Now, this transfer configuration you have to maintain. Based on that, the open items can be transferred from one contract account to another contract account. So let us see the configuration, how to do. So it is also one kind of business transaction. Go to financial accounting new and then contract accounts payable and payable. Go to business transactions and then go to transfers. Okay. In the following activities, you define the data required for the transfer of the open items. Okay. Define the transfer reasons. Okay. Customer has died, customer change. Okay. So there can be reasons why we can do this, or you can add our own reasons. Now select the payments here and press F1. So here we are saying display the transfer in payment list for the account balance. Transfers with this transfer reason are displayed as payments in the accounts balance payment list. This is useful, for example, for payments on an account that are freshly posted to an incorrect account and then transferred. These payments are on account then displayed in the payment list of the second account. Okay. That means sometimes you might have posted the basically a wrong open item you are transferring. So the payment also will change. That's what it is saying, the effect of the payments. So now we will save it. Customer change or customer has died, or you can have your own reasons. Define the default values for the transfer reason. So don't maintain any transfer reason here. We can enter it and the processing will happen. This is the posting area 1057. Define specifications and the default value for transfer. Okay. Now here, for some reason, the currency is basically mandatory here. Okay. I mean, it is not accepting the without currency, because that means actually tomorrow we may be doing implementation for a company which is into euros or dollars or Indian rupees. So, but sometimes you may do in multi-currency, okay? But one currency you have to default it, okay? So that is the reason why you have to maintain currency here. Clearing reason 03, document type AB, only all items credit transfer DL, okay? So basically you are giving this. Define transactions for transferring the item, okay? Now here, when the transactions will happen, again here you have to have one debit main transaction, debit sub transaction. Now that means there should be a posting happening to a contract account. Suppose the contract account is having one open item, you are transferred. So that item should be credited, okay? But the amount is transferred to another contract account, to that it should be debited. But that should happen through a main transaction and sub transaction, okay? So main transaction, sub transaction 02620 and sub transaction 010. But for doing the account determination, you're using one debit main transaction, one debit sub transaction. Either you can have one client level debit main transaction, client level debit sub transaction, maintain it for all the company codes. That's one way of doing. Because usually what happens when you're implementing SAP, it is for one company code. But if you're using multiple company codes, then also you can use all the main transactions, sub transactions across the company code. Okay. So let us say in our case, our main company is 555. Okay. So whatever main transaction you're using for the manual posting, one of the main transaction and the sub transaction can be maintained here. Okay. But tomorrow, suppose you are doing for another company code, then you must assign those main transaction, sub transaction to that company code as well. Because as we know, main transactions, sub transactions are actually client level data, but only they will work when you assign them to a company code. Okay. So here I maintained it for earlier company code. Either I have to maintain this debit main transaction, debit sub transaction to my company code 555, or let us assume 555 is our company code, and then rest of the company codes we will assign the debit MT and debit ST. So I will assign here our main transaction, that is 5000, and debit sub transaction is 5001. Okay, and then save it. And the 620 is basically transfer. Okay, 620 is transfer and 10 is a sub transaction. 620 transfer. Okay, This is the basically sub transaction. So how it will reflect, we will see. That means to one of the contract account, debit main transaction 5,000, debit sub transaction 5,001. Okay, that means the posting will happen to the new account using the debit main transaction, debit sub transaction 5,000, 5,001. Okay, so now let us have create one new item, FPE1. Document date is 0120, currency, reconciliation key KL01, and then open item. Contract account is this, main transaction 5,000, sub transaction 5,003. Okay, it is 3,000 rupees, and then save it. So a new document is posted as 70223. Now this item I want to transfer to another contract account. So presently the particular contract account what I use is 5702, 5701. So if you go to FPE2 700223, this was 70223, it is posted for 5701. Okay, now I want to transfer it to, let us say, 5702. So if I go to CAA2 and then 5702 is a contract account, does not exist. So we will just find out what is the account in the company code group 555. So we have got 5701, but we have got next account as 6001. Okay, so let us say this account I want to transfer. So how to transfer? Go to contract. It is available for single transaction. So go to the contract account receivable and payable account and then transfer the items. But if you go to periodic processing, okay, for the contract account, then here you can see payment notification, payments run, automatic clearing. You don't have any transfer because you cannot do it as a mass processing. You have to do it as a individual posting. So go to account and then transfer the items. So open items. So selection details, target transfer. We are transferring the data to the account number 6001. Okay, and we are transferring the open items belonging to the 5701, and transfer reason customer change, posting date, currency, clearing reason, and document type, reconciliation key, open items. No target transfer posting to contract account. Actually it is saying there is no contract. Actually we are not using contract in our system because contract is only required if you are using ISU. So our business scenario is happening without the contract. So it is only telling the information, no target contract exists, but you are transferring it to contract account. Continue. So this is the amount what we are going to transfer. Okay. So 70223 is the original document which was debited with 3,000 rupees. Okay. Now we are transferring. So naturally, this should be shown with the status as transferred, and you should make a new debit posting to contract account 6001. A new document should be posted, debit entry. Okay. So select the activation, cross clearing, and then select it and then save it. So document 10,282 has been created. Okay. So let us see what is this 10,282. Go to FPE2 10,282. Contract account 6001 is debited with 5,000, 5,003, and then 3,000, and then main transaction 5,000, 5,003 credited. That is 3,000. Now that means you are crediting the contract account 5701 with the amount of 3,000, debiting the amount to the 6001. Now let us go to FPL9. Sorry. Now let us select the contract account where originally you made the open item for 5701. and document was 700223. So select the open items. Now there is no open item because you are transferred. Okay, this is a down payment, second deposit. So let us select the transfer of items. Let us select all items, and then original posting document happened with the document number 70223. So find the document 70223. This is the original debit document which was posted, but now it shows it has been cleared. Okay, receivable paid. Actually, receivable paid means actually receivable is not paid, but it has been transferred. Okay, because this amount has been transferred to the new account, that is 6001. Okay, so if you select 70223, double click, go to clearing analysis, and then it will show the clearing document 10,282. That is a transfer document 10,282. This is not a clearing document in the true sense. It is not that you entered incoming payment to clear, but we have actually transferred. The transfer document is 10,282. In a way, it is clearing the open item for the contract account 5701, and then it has created the debit entry document of 70223. And then if you go to the contract account, which is the account number 6001, okay, and then select the open item, select the open items. Then here you can see 10,282, it is debiting the contract account. Okay, that means in one case it is debiting, in one case it is crediting. Okay, it is debiting the new contract account for which the amount was transferred, and using the same document it is crediting the amount to the contract account which was having the debit item, which was basically to be transferred. Okay, so this is how the transfer can happen. It is one way of clearing, but it is not through payment entry, basically transferring the open item. Okay, so we have done the reversal, offset clearing, and also transfer. In the next session we will work on another important part of the payment. So far we have worked with the incoming payment, okay, through the cash desk payment lot. Okay, this is all basically where consumer is taking the initiative. Okay, that means consumer will go to walk-in payments in the cash desk, makes the payment, or goes to a website and makes a bank transfer, or makes a credit card payment. But now we are going to have a payment run. Okay, that is payments. We are now going to use the second method, incoming and outgoing payment creation. Okay, so here we are going to design payment method, okay, as a bank transfer. Okay, that means every month once the invoice is prepared, we will send the information to the bank, and then bank will clear the payment based on the customer's instruction. That means customer is not going to make the payment through cash desk, or they are not going to any application of the company and then making a payment. Rather, the customer will be informed the invoice has been sent to the bank. If the customer has activated, basically the moment invoice is received, it should be paid, or customer will log in into net banking and then clear the payment. Okay, so you have to create a payment creation, send the data to bank, and when the bank will send the data, we are going to clear. Okay, so you have to design the payment method. So it is 3-4 areas you have to customize, and based on that we'll be able to do the payment run. Okay, in the next session I will discuss about the payment run. So after that we'll be left with few more topics we will cover. One is the doubtful items, and then submit to collection agency, and then correspondence. Okay, one of the important areas, correspondence. This is more of information. Okay, already correspondence type, correspondence forms, all are maintained, but we must know what are these correspondence actually. So in the next week we should be able to finish the remaining topics. Okay, so we can go for today. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Can conclude? Okay, fine.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, thank you.